Leading up to the Vietnam War, the U.S. Army finally sent armed UH-1B Huey gunships into combat in October of 1962. Armed with rocket pods and miniguns, they acted as escorts for Piasecki CH-21 Shawnee troop transports. The Huey gunships proved extremely effective as a gunship, but the Army thought their level of firepower could be improved upon. Initial research on a more capable gunship platform began in 1964. Out of this program, the Bell AH-1 Cobra was developed and deployed in 1966, which was the world's first dedicated helicopter gunship. There were still members of the general staff that wanted even more firepower. They felt that the Cobra was only a gap filler design on the way to the ultimate form of a helicopter gunship, which at the time was considered to be the Lockheed AH-56 Cheyenne. Boeing was due to introduce the ACH-47 Chinook transport helicopter into Vietnam beginning in November of 1965. They saw the Army's need for a heavy gunship and submitted a proposal to the Army to modify 11 Chinooks into heavy gunships. The first one was built in July of 1965 and was designated the ACH-47A. The large payload loadout of the Chinook provided a platform that could have a large weapons loadout. No idea was too outlandish to the Army. They allowed the development team a wide realm of possibilities in designing the new gunship. What they settled on after much testing at Edwards Air Force Base was quite impressive. The gunships were armed to the teeth. They had two forward-facing M24A1 20mm cannons, each fed by an 800-round container. A turret in the nose was fitted with an AM-5 40mm grenade launcher, fed by a flexible belt that ran through the cockpit to the ammo container, which held 500 rounds. In the cargo bay, 5 Crewman 50 cal machine guns were mounted, each with 1,000 rounds of ammunition. 30-inch long stub wings were added to the outside of the helicopter and could be mounted with either 70mm rocket launchers or pod-mounted 7.62 miniguns. The gunships were also heavily up-armored. Over 2,500 pounds of armor plating was installed into the helicopters, providing the crew, rotor pylons, and vital systems with protection. The Lycoming T-55 turboshaft engines were upgraded from 2,200 horsepower to 2,850 horsepower each. This gave the Chinook gunship the same performance as a standard, operationally loaded CH-47. By April of 1966, 4 ACH-47A gunships have been built at the Boeing plant in Philadelphia. But due to budget constraints, they would be the only ACH-47 gunships built. 3 of them were shipped to Vietnam for field testing, but the 4th was sent to Edwards Air Force Base to have further weapons testing done. On August 5, 1966, the gunship, nicknamed Stump Jumper, was destroyed in an accident in Vung Tau, where it collided with another CH-47 while taxiing on a runway. The gunship nicknamed Cost of Living, still at Edwards Air Force Base, was immediately sent to replace Stump Jumper. Cost of Living was destroyed in May of 1967 while on an attack run. A retention pin on a stub wing vibrated loose, allowing the 20mm cannon to rotate upwards, firing into the forward rotor, causing the gunship to crash, killing everyone on board. The last 2 gunships, Easy Money and Birth Control, continued flying missions as normal. Their firepower was heavily requested by troops in the field. But the end of the Chinook gunship saga was close at hand. During the Tet Offensive in February of 1968, Birth Control was struck with multiple hits during the battle for Way City. It crash-landed in a dry rice paddy outside the citadel of the city. Easy Money was providing covering fire for the downed Chinook. Finally, Easy Money was able to land and rescue the crew at Birth Control, but narrowly escaped due to the extra weight of the 8 crew members from Birth Control. Before the downed gunship could be recovered, NVA mortar fire concentrated on the aircraft and destroyed it completely. After the Tet Offensive was over, Easy Money never flew into combat again. The Chinooks were designed to operate in pairs, and Easy Money was the only ACH-47 gunship left. Every other Chinook in Vietnam was desperately needed for heavy lifting and transport duties as the war intensified. Combined with the large increase in AH-1 Cobra gunships being sent to Vietnam, the ACH-47 gunship was seen as unnecessary. Easy Money ended up at the boneyard at Savannah Army Depot. Boeing had inspected the airframe for possible salvage, but found it to be too corroded for any use. It was moved to Fort Eustis, where it was used as a sheet metal trainer before being sent to the base's scrapyard. In 1997, its historical identity was uncovered when his nickname, Easy Money, was uncovered under layers of paint. The aircraft was restored and is now on display at Redstone Arsenal in Alabama. In 2006, the 160th SOAR Special Operations Unit at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, set up a new battalion at Fort Lewis, Washington for operations in the Pacific. Equipped with advanced ACH-47G Chinooks, the unit approached the veterans of the original Guns A-Go-Go for permission to resurrect the unit. The Vietnam veterans of the unit unanimously supported the decision. Guns A-Go-Go lives again. Alright, well thanks for watching my videos, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and if you have any stories about this aircraft, or you've ever worked on it or seen it in action while in Vietnam or something like that, leave a comment and let us know. Thanks.